Hello, cruel world. My name is Dr. Das. I am a forensic psychiatrist and we have to talk about this case. So there's this woman called Taylor Schabusiness who killed her lover, 𝐭𝐤𝐻. And not only did she kill him during sex, she mutilated him, put his head and his penis into a bucket and then carried on doing sexual things to different parts of his body and his corpse after he died. Now, as a forensic psychiatrist, I have to ask myself the question, was she psychotic at the time? Was she out of touch with reality? Was she hearing voices? Did she have like a proper mental illness that was meaning that she wasn't understanding what she was doing and not in control of her actions? Now, I have to say, the more I hear about this case, the more I think that actually, yes, that is the case. And I'll explain why. Before that, a bit more detail. So we know she's got a psychiatric history. She's been in prisons before. She's been in psychiatric hospitals before. She's got a diagnosis of psychosis in the past. We know that she used some substances. She was taking trazodone, antidepressant. She was apparently using meth, crystal meth, and cannabis immediately before what happened. The other thing is that her defence team have put forward mental illness as a defence. So they're saying that she should have the not guilty by reason of insanity plea. They're saying that she is not competent to stand trial. What's interesting to me is that she's had multiple assessments, and some of the professionals, so people like myself, have found her competent for trial and some have found her non-competent for trial. So it's all a bit murky, it's all a bit confusing. One thing I wanted to mention is that in one particular assessment, she suddenly picked up a chair out of the blue for no reason and threw it at the assessor. Before this, she was non-communicative, so she wasn't even answering questions. She was just acting in a very bizarre manner. On top of all of that, she actually attacked one of her lawyers during a trial. Again, sort of out of the blue. There was no build-up, there's no argument. There's footage of it in the internet. She just suddenly jumped up and attacked this guy out of nowhere. Other very bizarre behaviour during the trial. At times she's completely ignored the judge. At times she's flipped him off. So again, just very variable, very sort of unpredictable behaviour. Okay, so here's my analysis. Obviously, I've not assessed her in person, so I can't say anything definitively. But from what I know of assessing hundreds of cases like this, I think it's more likely than not that she was psychotic. And I'll tell you why. Number one, probably the most important thing, she's got a history of psychosis. So these kind of disorders tend to, you have relapse and remissions. They come in and out of an individual sufferer's life over the years. So I guess what I'm saying is if she didn't have any kind of history and then suddenly became psychotic at the time of this offence, I would be suspicious, but that's not the case, number one. Number two, the nature of this offence is very bizarre. I'm not saying that everybody that does something this kind of depraved or ununderstandable is psychotic, but just the fact that it's just so weird. I mean, it's not like, something escalated out of hand. It's not like they even had beef or an argument before. It's not like a lover's quarrel or a tiff or jealousy, and doing stuff to the body sexually afterwards just makes me think that something is, something to do with insanity, something to do with paranoid delusions, hearing voices, must have controlled this behavior because it's just so bizarre. Another one, number three, which is a big one, really, really important, is that despite her odd behaviour, there's no clear agenda. So somebody that's faking mental illness, somebody that knows what they're doing, will try at some point in some way to try and come across as if they're insane, crazy, psychotic. Whereas she's not really doing this. She's not trying to tell people during her assessments that she was hearing voices, that she was delusional. If anything, it's kind of the opposite. She's not telling anybody anything. And her behaviour is just too random. At times she's ignoring the judge. At times she's being aggressive towards him. This seems like the mindset of somebody that's not fully understanding what's going on around them. Now, of course, I'm not naive enough to not appreciate that it's possible that somebody could be faking this, could be acting in that way. But I would have to say, if that is the case, it's possible, but I think unlikely. If that is the case, then she's an amazing actress. Not only is she really playing the part of somebody who's mentally ill, but she knows not to overham it and to kind of not have an agenda, which I think is very, very difficult to do. Final point I wanted to make is that substances cannot be ignored. Trazodone, not really that important. Cannabis can cause drug-induced psychosis, but crystal meth absolutely can cause somebody to become psychotic. So you can have somebody like this lady, Schabusiness, who's got a history of psychosis, who then takes something like this and flips into a period of psychosis. That's one possibility. By the way, quick plug, if you're interested in this kind of thing, I've got a video on my YouTube channel at Psych for Sore Minds about a Wu-Tang affiliate rapper who got drug-induced psychosis and cut off his own penis. I kid you not. That's one possibility. Another possibility is that she was simply intoxicated. So it's nothing to do with psychosis. She just took these substances, naturally aggressive, naturally impulsive, and they kind of amplified her personality traits. I don't think that's likely given the depravity of what she did. And the other possibility is somewhere in the middle. So she had a background psychosis and it was made worse by taking the drugs, but not quite drug-induced psychosis. So any of those things are very possible. Okay, I've rabbited on and off. If you're interested in this kind of area, you should go and check out my YouTube channel, A Psych for Sore Minds, where I use my professional expertise to try and break down high-profile cases just like this one. I have to say, this is kind of mind-blowing even for me. I guess there's no business like Schabusiness. Anyways, have a blessed day. Go check out my YouTube channel, and do not forget, I love you.